35. Yeah, we on the rise. We going up, it really wasn't a surprise. It's been a journey, glad you've been here for the ride. We've been doing this for a while, we on 35.
35? Like, who knew? Shout out to the ones who's been there since like 2. If you came after that, man, welcome to the crew.
And here's a brand new episode to listen through.
What's up, guys? And welcome back to the Frontline Youth Podcast. This is one of your hosts, Elijah Tijero, and I'm here with my co-host,
Elijah. We are here. Glad you're here. Glad you're listening. Hope you're having a good week. Maybe you're listening as it's dropping. Maybe you're listening months or years later.
Maybe.
Who will ever know?
Probably us.
I guess so, yeah.
If you leave a comment.
Hallelujah.
Some comment.
Brownie just peeked her head in the door. Y'all said, what's up to Brownie? All right, bye. She didn't want to talk to y'all, so never mind. But, yeah, but do be leaving comments, y'all. We read them. Somebody put me to the test. They're like, you don't read them. You would have known I commented on episode that came out forever ago. I was like, word, let me go back through them all again. Some of you guys have some new replies on old comments from billions of years ago. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the comments are never too full. Look at your average YouTube video that gets recommended to you and it's popular. It's got thousands of comments. We are not going to be hurt if you guys have 12, 13 not a person. I mean, you can if you got that much to say. Won't hold you. But I'm saying, like, if that many of you are commenting, it's not going to be like, oh, that's too many to read. Every last one of them is going to get read. There's not that many of y'all at the time of recording right now. So leave your comment, bruh. The comment section does not get full, bruh. Back me up. See?
Sorry. I was taking a very deep breath just then.
But you see what I just did there? I guess the listeners do know because they saw the title, depending on what you're putting the title as. But you see?
Or that you're seeking my approval.
Why'd you cut it off? I was reveling.
It's done.
I was basking in the glory.
Yes. Our topic for today is approval versus friendship. The dynamics.
The dichotomy.
What are the differences between these two things? Why would one choose approval over true friendship?
Why are the two even different?
And do any of us do that? The answer is yes, you do. Don't lie.
All right, guys, that's all we got. No, but yeah. We're getting into this.
So funny. He's just a
I'm what you call it? I don't know what you call it, bro.
What do you call it?
I'm Batman's forgotten villain, the jokester.
Turn that off.
That was funny.
No.
That was funny. I don't know why you hit that button on the soundboard, but the fake soundboard people know. They know what's going on. I guess it's real people that are in that recording.
They could be dead.
All right. So they very much could be, I guess. Well, wait. If somebody's listening to this, I mean, like, nothing's going to happen, obviously. But if somebody's listening to this after it's being recorded, we could be dead.
This is true.
That's scary.
If you're listening to this 100 years in the future, I didn't know. That's crazy. If I'm still alive,
why would what?
I'm goated.
121 years old. One of a kind. All right. Anyway, guys, if you just skipped to here, hello, good skip. We gonna get right into this topic. Now, Isaiah, question for you, even though it's by you.
Okay. Yes.
Can you?
No.
Okay, word. Next question, though. Can you call yourself a friend if you don't try to help your friends to be better?
You see, that's a tricky question. Because in some areas, I could say you're my friend, and then, but I'm not gonna mind your business.
Hmm.
So you can see it as that way, where it's like, your issues are just that, your issues. I don't have to concern myself with them, right? But then I feel like for me personally,
There he goes.
that's how I would treat like an acquaintance.
So it depends on the level of familiarity or closeness.
Correct. But for me, the title makes the difference, because then you wouldn't be a friend. You know what I mean? Like, you're my friend if I can be able to talk to you and hold you accountable to things that are important. I'm pretty sure I've defined this, or we defined this, me and Katie, in episode 12. So
shout out to my episode 12 listeners.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. If you want to, you can go back, I guess, and hear my take on friendship, our take on friendship and whatnot.
Nope, just his.
Just mine, yeah.
No, but yeah. Yeah. Facts.
So yes, it depends on your definition of friend, and it also depends on how much you want to be involved in the betterment of your friends' lives.
So why? Because the thing about helping your friend to be better is ingrained in the question. So like, why?
It's in the crust.
In the question.
It's in the crust.
I'll stuff you on in the crust.
Stuff you on in the crust.
I'm having. All right. Anyway,
If you know that reference, put it in the comments. If you don't know that reference, I guess that's fine. I was gonna insult you and your family, but I decided against it. I'm playing.
Okay. But yeah. So why does helping someone to be better involve being their friend, or why does being someone's friend involve helping to be better? Bro, I just can't talk today.
Because you would hope that they do the same for you.
Very interesting. Okay.
I'm not confident in that answer.
I think it leads to some interesting what do you call it? Dynamics. Yes, actually. It leads to an interesting dynamic, or what how you would describe a friendship dynamic to exist.
Because okay. Here we go. It's because let me get real spiritual on y'all.
Uh-oh.
Not that spiritual.
Oh.
Maybe.
This kind?
Turn that off.
Okay. I'm just trying to help you out.
I got it.
All right,
if
word.
I need it. All right. The Bible says
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
you cannot all right.
The Bible says you cannot.
All right. You cannot be unevenly yoked.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So, if your friend is off that skooma.
Word. Nobody knows what that is except Israel.
Yeah, Israel knows what that is. If
And
you know
Luke.
what skooma is, you're a real one.
Yeah.
Anyway, your friend is always off that skooma.
Or alternatively, off of that what?
Oh, coffee.
Oh, don't do that. That is not the same at all.
Or crack. They're all about the same.
If your friend is smoking crack,
Yes, or drinking coffee, or drinking skooma. You drink skooma. And you don't do that, and you need to have them not do that. Sometimes it can be a challenge for you, because then it's like, can you call them your friend if being their friend is compromising to who you are?
yeah.
You feel me? So the reason you would want to tell your friends betterment, whatever, is because not only is it going to help them, but it's hard to maintain at least a genuine relationship that's not compromising,
Right.
Without doing that.
So an interesting thing that I've heard brought up in the new series that they're showing in church in the early mornings is the pastor was talking about how whenever new people come into the church, that your goal isn't necessarily to do all the work and like straighten them out, but instead just be kind and hospitable to them and see how far they want to go, while when they're not there, praying for them so that God can pull on them to do stuff. So it's not that they come into the church and you're like, homie, you need to stop doing this and you need to start dressing like this and walking and talking like this and this. But the reason that he said it should be like that is because these new people who are coming in don't know you. So it's not like, oh, my best friend is telling me that maybe I should alter the way that I live. But instead, it's just this random church person who thinks that they have all kinds of authority over me just because they have more experience with the church and I don't. So, but on the other hand of that, a close friendship relationship with somebody kind of it invites for each other's opinions to be shared. Because like if there's a dude who lives next door to you, you don't know him at all,
Yes.
and he's doing something maybe that's destroying his own life but doesn't affect you, like he's off that skooma every day, every single day, he's losing his mind over it.
He's in a medieval jail cell.
Exactly. He's just
Off that scuba.
out of his mind, right?
The basement of the Khajiit. Sorry.
All right, we're getting too deep and people are not gonna know what's up.
It's true.
Shout out to you if you do though.
Y'all don't get these jokes. It's all right. Just know they're funny.
Yeah, extremely. He was faster because he's got it on his phone, so he's typing like it's just tapping buttons. I have to look at the keybinds on the keyboard and combine the letters, and I think it's this. All right, I pressed the wrong button the first time. Anyway, right? Say this guy that you don't know, but he lives nearby to you is making bad choices. He's probably not going to take it well if you walk up to him and be like, "Hey, I don't think that it's right that you're just drinking all the time, man. Drinking that skooma. As a matter of fact, I think you'll mess up your life that way." He'd be like, "Cool. Who are you? Leave me alone. Why are you even talking to me?"
Facts.
And that's reasonable.
Yes.
You don't just go and tell everybody what they should and shouldn't do just because you may know or think you know. Mm-hmm. If they have no relation to you, there's no tie there, so it just doesn't make any sense. Shout out episode 5, I think. I think so.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Then yes, 5.
However, if there's somebody that you're like an actual friend with, I think it invites more of that. Like let's say we were friends, right?
No. Unbelievable. Sure.
Let's say we were friends and you see that
You drink coffee.
no, sure, if drinking coffee was a bad thing,
Well, if
then I could expect you
drinking coffee
to warn
is a
me
bad
about
thing.
drinking coffee.
I think
And
I
it's
talked about that in episode 12 too.
it's my responsibility as a friend between the two of us to consider your opinion. Whereas it would be different if you were some random dude. It doesn't have any effect.
Okay.
Boom. Now, you say point number 2.
Sure.
You say this. Bro,
Sorry. I'm so sorry if that was too loud.
somebody's driving and just swerved. He said, all right, you say point number 2. Oh, okay.
I dropped the notes.
He dropped the sacred text. He better not do it again.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
His brother turned into a deep dish pizza. I'm ready. All right, go ahead.
Often,
Okay.
people don't seek friendship. They seek approval.
What did you mean by that?
What do I mean by that?
What do you mean
What
by
I
that?
mean by that when I say that people aren't seeking friendship is that they're not real. Let me talk into the mic here.
Word.
They're not really trying to build a relationship necessarily, one built of trust and betterment and teamwork or whatever. They simply want someone to call friend, someone who calls them a friend, someone to hang out with, to be accepted by.
Okay.
Therefore, they do whatever is necessary and allow others to do whatever they want in order to be accepted. So people aren't necessarily looking for a real bond with anyone. They just want any form of connection whatsoever.
Right. So even people that they don't even agree with on the low, they'll just latch onto them.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Let me read here what I have in the notes.
Hey.
What
The
does
secret
this
text.
entail? Wait, no.
Wait, no. All right.
What?
Go ahead. Nothing.
And I was gonna read it in a voice, but now I'm not.
I thought you were reading the complete wrong note,
No,
and you
no,
just said
no,
it, and
no, no.
what does that entail? Like you meant it. Like, anyway,
Don't ever doubt me.
never. Ever.
What does that entail? What does this entail? Now I read it wrong. In many cases, people will lie, coddle emotions, speak soothing words, but then not bring anything of value to a relationship just so that they can be accepted. It's ridiculous, and it's true. It's just a fact where I don't know, your friends are meant to be people that you can trust with things, you know. That seems, I don't know, it varies from person to person. So I'm not gonna tell you, you know, your friends should know all of the details of your trauma in life.
Right.
That's not true. However, they can know some details. I don't know, you know what I mean? So they can help you through it, or that so you can have someone to talk to about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just having friends, quote unquote friends, in order to say you have friends, that's a waste. What's
That's
the
true.
point? What is the friendship built on? Hanging out, having fun, sipping skooma, like, bro.
Of course, the last one, the skooma. And I mean, like in movies and whatnot, right? They will have, and I've seen it in real life, but everybody knows it from movies, so we can all relate at least on that. But if there's like a bully in a school and they just beat everyone up, and the teacher's like, "Oh, excuse me, Jonathan, have you turned in yet?" And he's like, "Shut up, lady."
What?
And he's just rude and mean, and he doesn't care about people, and he be making fun of them to their face or whatever. But somehow, dudes like this always have a collective of individuals who will hang out with them. Yeah, a posse. Boom. Who will hang out with them, pose in pictures with them, big voice crack.
Pose. Sorry, y'all.
You know, they'll want to be seen around this Jonathan character. Sorry if your name's Jonathan. Even though, if they're in their right mind at all, they should not look up to Jonathan in any way.
Right.
There's nothing that is really attractive about Jonathan's character. However, if Jonathan will have them around, then they say, well, he's my friend then. And if they
Right.
oppose to him kicking Jimbo across the hallway, they won't say much about it because they don't want Jonathan to disapprove. But that's not friendship.
Yeah. It's facts.
If you disappeared, Jonathan ain't gonna care. He gonna move on. And yep, that's all. I couldn't think of anything else to say.
Nice. Yeah, to put this into the context of a Christian relationship, there's this video skit that I've seen.
Okay. Why did you? Why? That looks left, looks right. I've seen. Oh no! Did they hear?
I was trying to remember if anyway, I've seen it.
Right.
I'm going to describe it.
Wonderful. Let's hear it, folks.
A group of friends get into a car crash.
Oh.
I know, crazy start. They all perish and die.
Okay.
All right. Now that that's out of the way, they all go up into eternity, right? But it's obviously it's not like real life or how it's really gonna be. It's like a waiting room or whatever, like a room, and they go and get checked. Like, yep, you're clear. Yep, nope, sorry, hell for you. You know.
Okay.
What? That's how it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the friends was a Christian. I guess they were saved, born again, and whatnot.
Oh, I know this skit.
Yes, and they got approved. And then another friend that was also in the car didn't get approved. And while he's being dragged away by demons or something, he's like looking back at the other friend. How could you not tell me? You were saved this whole time, and you knew that about Jesus, and you knew of this fate, and you just let me drink skooma all day. I don't think it talked about skooma in the video, but
No doubt.
it could have.
It couldn't have.
Be quiet. All right. So anyway, I said all that to say that as a Christian, you have a responsibility to tell your friends about Jesus. Obviously. That's what is it? The Great Commission? I feel like we talk about the Great Commission every episode, but
I mean, it's the Great Commission.
it's the Great Commission. It's pretty great.
Hallelujah.
So yes, go out into all the world and preach the gospel to every people. You feel me? So preach the gospel, tell people about Jesus. That's basically what it's saying. And that
Why should one do this? Why is it important?
Because God said so. So then, so people can make it to heaven. I'm not,
Right.
you know.
Yep.
That seems like a good enough reason to me.
That is.
And this extends to your friends. It shouldn't be limited to strangers, or I find that extra strange. For me personally, I think we talked about this in one of the episodes, talking about how social do you have to be. But it's like, I don't understand how you can be more comfortable telling someone you don't know to get saved and go to heaven than the people that you do know and love and care about very much, you won't tell them. I don't get that. This is baffling to me. But that's just me. You feel me? So your friends, you can't just be like, oh well,
Yeah.
that might make it awkward. So I just want to be their friend. I just
Right.
want to hang out. It's like,
So I'm going to speak on behalf of the bafflers. Personally, in most situations, I found it easier. Well, honestly, okay. I find it easier to talk to a stranger about Christianity and getting saved and stuff because they've never seen me before and they don't know me, right? So then they're not going to wonder about why I chose specifically them or why I chose that specific time. They know that I didn't know who I was going to meet either, but just that I had that message to give personally. And then whatever conversations we have after are built from that. But let's say you're in a setting like a school where or a workplace where you're not meeting each other because you wanted to have that conversation. Then it's like to walk up to them and start with that would be super weird and maybe not well accepted. So you have to wait for a time sometimes, a window. So it's like, and I talked about that in episode 8, but in my personal experience, I find it easier to talk to a stranger than somebody that's I'm like almost friends with. However, maybe the easiest of them all would be a real friend because I have the most security in the fact that the message is getting across. But either way, it's something that I handle kind of fearfully, and sometimes I fear I'll be a little bit too slow with it. So like in reference to this car crash thing, I hope I'm not guilty of being that dude, bro. I gotta try my best, and that's just being honest with y'all. So, I don't know if y'all heard, but Isaiah just made a reference to a terrible song. And it's not the content. Well, the content of the song is terrible, but the song, the way it sounds is just horrible. And thinking about that, as ridiculous as it is, because we've been joking back and forth about it for the past few days, it actually ties in with this topic, and I must speak on it. So from the other side of seeking approval, there are some people who maybe they do have good friends or do have, people who will check up on them, people who are making sure that they're doing what's healthy for them, people, they can rely on to tell them the truth. And they will abandon those people in search of the people who will give them approval during their certain decision that they're making. So it's like, my family loves me, everybody's happy, but then I got introduced to skooma.
Dang.
I walk in my house.
Not skooma.
And I'm like, Mom, Dad, Joe, I got skooma. I just learned about skooma. And they say, that's bad, Elijah. Don't drink that stuff. That'll mess you up. It'll drive you insane. And I'm like, Are you serious? Are you serious right now? I thought you guys are my friends and my family. I know all of y'all have seen that in the Disney movie at some point. I just can't think of which one. But it's like, oh, man, I thought y'all cared about me. Maybe you know somebody who's done that. Don't tag them or whatever you can do in the comments. But anyway.
Dox them.
Yeah. And so anyway, they will leave their healthier circles because they've been opposed in something that they're doing and will go in search of people who will support them, whether honestly or dishonestly, who will just be like, oh, yeah, what you're doing is great and you're right about everything and don't even ever let anybody tell you otherwise.
Facts.
So anyway, in this one artist's, if you can even call him an artist, his terrible music
artist.
And his terrible music videos that are strangely kind of produced, he's surrounded by people, always surrounded by people his age, of both genders, who are just, like hyping him up and be like, oh yeah, man, and dancing with him and posing with him and whatever, right? There is no way, because they lip sync with the lyrics of the song while it's playing. So they play the song while all that's going. There's no way they're really having a good time like that listening to that horrendous garbage.
I refuse to believe that he's serious.
Bro, I wish I could just dox this person and be like, oh yeah, this is the artist. Check out his music. Tell us in the comments if you think he's being serious, but we can't do that.
Yeah, because then we might be proponents? No.
Perpetuators?
No. We might seem as though we're sponsored, is really what I'm trying to say. Like we support him.
Right.
No. But look, there is no possible way you can make music this bad. And expect and not know. I thoroughly believe that he's making these songs in order to get people to look at them and say, wow, this is so bad. But then listen, I'm pretty sure I've listened to the song like 50 times.
Oh my goodness.
Just because how bad it is. But look, he's happy. He's getting plays.
No,
meaning
bro.
he has to be. There's no way he's not doing this on purpose.
Y'all, Isaiah's only evidence that this dude is faking it is that it's horrible. And therefore, no one in their right mind.
No, that's not my only evidence. In the video, he's just so exaggerated. There's no possible way. You can't come on a track. No,
bro.
I just wanna my G's from Tokyo. I just
All right. He sounds like Elmo sometimes, and then other times, voice crack. He'd be offbeat. Anyway,
the worst.
I'm telling you, he has no idea it's bad. But
No.
he
Anyway,
only
yes.
and somebody even said this before I knew this topic was going to be a thing. I was reading through the comments because this got recommended to me on Instagram. That's why I was even. That's the reason I know about it. So he's paying for this to be advertised and pushed out to people like me. But anyway, someone in the comments said, "Your homies ain't your homies," because in the interpretation of
That's
this,
real.
to any sane person that's hearing this music and watching this music video is like, man, those people who are around him and having a good time, they're either paid actors or they're lying to him.
Or they know the truth.
Exactly.
That it's all a ploy.
No.
Yes.
Or they know the truth that the song is trash. However, they are trying to. They're gonna tell him it's good either way.
Why
for whatever?
are
Because
you
they
so
don't care
against
about him.
this theory,
Bro,
Elijah,
I'm telling you,
there's no way you can't make music this bad and not know. You cannot.
if
You can't get in the studio, get in there and start wailing.
okay, look. look. Look.
I'm going on. And then come out the studio like, yeah, I'm next up.
I'm next. It's gonna be me. That's what the song's about. He said, I was broke, not poor, but now I'm going north. That's what he thinks he's up next. That's what he thinks is, I'm going north. Why are you hating on him because he's going north?
I'm not hating.
I am. I'm hating, okay? I am hating, and I stand on that. He needs to stop making music official.
Bro, it's working. It's a all right, listeners. I'm giving you no name. You don't know,
No name.
but you need
Sorry, go ahead.
you need to hear this.
This is a clip of the
I'm
terrible
so
song.
sorry. I'm so sorry
Wait,
if
wait,
you
wait.
guys came on here ready for real. These are real issues, but right now, this is a real issue.
Keep in mind, this dude is surrounded by
Surrounded by supporters. People who he probably calls friend. Are they really his friends? Listen to this and tell me, if you were in the studio, are his friends his friends?
I said I'm going on.
Absolutely not.
Bro,
Absolutely not.
I'm telling you, this dude thinks he's the next guy. He is not. Oh my goodness, he cannot drop good music. Anyway, I never knew you guys would be getting a slice of that, but
Look.
here we are. Welcome to the Fly Podcast. We have a good time.
Welcome. We do.
Speaking of having a good time with terrible music, never mind.
Right? What was that about to be?
I was the intro that got archived. I forgot it got archived.
Yeah, no. That look.
They'll hear
y'all,
it eventually.
We usually put a lot of effort into our intro songs and make them very good. I feel like this one is not bad. It's good. A return to form after that Reggaeton one from last time. Look. I
Bro,
apologize for that one.
a Spanish-speaking listener said the intro was perfect. So there's nothing that we need to improve. Clearly, everything is perfect. Thank you for your unending support.
All right. Okay, back to the topic at hand. There's a story, yes? Like some old proverb.
Brother.
Sorry, y'all. Regarding a topic similar to this that Elijah will read.
Prepare your ears. Prepare your eardrums. Here we go. There was a man whose mother was very kind. She always spoke supportingly and was always forgiving of her son. One day, the son was convicted of stealing and was given a death sentence. He asked to please just speak to his mother one last time. His wish was granted. When she arrived, he asked if he could whisper something in her ear. As she leaned in to hear what he was saying, he suddenly bit her ear off. He then said, "This is your fault. If you had only disciplined me as a youth, I wouldn't be where I am now." And then he went on to face his sentence. Dang. How sad is that?
Very.
I said,
How is it relevant?
Break down this proverb of ancient time.
I will tell you. This poor individual's mom.
He was broke, not poor. My bad. I'm going. No. All right.
He can't be serious.
I'm sorry for distracting you. Go back.
All right. His mom, in his youth, only ever spoke encouraging words, never reprimanded him, always forgave him when he did things wrong. So then, as he grew older, he came to expect, or not came to expect, but he just did wrong things without fear of consequence because he wasn't taught that actions have consequences when he was young. How this can be relevant to your friend's life is that you can notice something in a friend that is going to lead them to the depths of disaster because they sipping that skooma. And then instead of helping them, you ignore it and you are now doing them a disservice.
Dangerous.
In fact, in all the ways that we've described this, because you want companionship, so you let things slide. It's all very selfish if you really think about it, because it's all concerning how you feel, concerning the fact that you want a friend, you want someone to hang out with, you don't want to be alone, you don't want to mess up somebody's friendship, you want to be approved. So then, you're not really caring for other people in any sense. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't you guys just do an episode called Be Selfish? Look.
Being selfish is wrong.
It's not.
Who were those guys on that
Don't
last
ever
episode?
be selfish. No. It's not the same thing. There's a difference between caring, self-care, and only caring for yourself. You feel me? Don't say, I said this. I probably said that exact same thing last episode.
Oh, word. I
Anyway.
probably said last time
You
too.
probably did. But look, yes, it's not the same. So when you
My bad. Go ahead. They didn't hear it.
So when you only they probably did. So sorry, y'all. If you heard that, you know why I'm laughing. But if you didn't hear it, then you've been blessed.
Pray for me, girl.
When you're only focusing on how you feel, what you can get out of a relationship, which is approval, companionship, that's being selfish in the sense of you don't care about others. You wouldn't put yourself out there in order to help somebody else with an issue, help them with coming to terms with something that they might be struggling with. Instead, you decide that you want to live, for your own gain, And that's the end of what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. For your own gain. And sometimes if you're only seeking the approval from others, you'll be the one that's dooming them, like you said. Especially if you get the combo. You get you, who's only not you. You get we don't have a secondary example name. We have Josh Danke and that's it.
And Nisha.
Cool. Right. Okay, cool. So we have Nisha who just wants people to be around, who's not really, they don't really care about, she don't really care about who the people are. She just wants them to be around. So when she takes her Instagram pictures, it looks like she's having fun and nobody's going to think that she's lame and boring and she can get invited to stuff.
Yeah.
And then Josh Danke ran away from the whole entire Danke family because they didn't approve of his skooma addiction or his musical career, right? So you pair the two of them together because Josh just wants Nisha around so that she'll agree with him. And Nisha doesn't really care about Josh like that. She's just in it to have someone to be around, right?
Right.
People do this in romantic relationships too. And so whenever Josh Dankey's life is going off the rails, Nisha's not really going to help him because she didn't care about him to begin with.
Right.
And so he sought someone out who would agree with him, but sometimes agreeing with you isn't the same thing as caring about you. And if he would have realized that, he could have stayed with his family. That would have saved him from making that song and from drinking.
So Josh Dankey.
Yeah, he's the artist. Don't look any further because you actually might find him and then you'll wish you didn't.
So where's he going north from?
From the bottom of the stairs. He was broke, not poor. It's not the same as
his leg.
Yes, exactly.
Get off my face.
He's at the bottom, but it's not because he's poor. He's not, but it's because he. Anyway, Josh Dankey trying to head to the top. I'm going up. All right. Sorry, you guys. I had a moment there. But do you know the story of the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yes.
I don't remember exactly how it goes, but I think
I remember how it goes.
Tell that joint. This is not in the notes, y'all. So if you think we're just robotically saying everything on a piece of paper, we're not.
An emperor was in his palace. Palace? Emperors have palaces?
Sure.
I feel like they have something else. Like, what does a sultan have?
In the state.
An estate? Like the Turkish Empire. That's not a palace. That's something else.
It's a palace.
Okay. The emperor had a palace. One day, a masterful, well-renowned seamstress, except it's a dude.
Seamster.
Seamster.
The seamster.
Yep. A seamster. A tailor came to his palace and said, "O emperor, I can make you something of great value, something unseen before."
Not the Walmart great value.
Not that great value from Walmart, no sir. Something that no one else can replicate. The emperor was intrigued. "Come in, tailor. Show me what you can do." The tailor went to work at the loom, pulling what seemed to be nothing on the strings, hitting the pedals, making the sewing machine move. It's not a sewing machine, but the loom, yes. However, the material he was using seemed to be see-through. All right, this track too much now. It's getting too crazy. The emperor is like, "Hey, bro, I can't see anything. There's no. Where's the clothes at?
Where your clothes at?
Where's the fabric?" The tailor, who is not a tailor, fun fact. Fun fact? No. Important fact. This is when we realize that this tailor is a con man. He gonna tell the emperor, "Oh, sir, it's not that you can't see it. I think to see this kind of material, it takes a really high level of intelligence and perception." Now, the emperor, of course, is quite prideful. So his next moments are, "Oh, I think I see it now." He's like,
"Yes, I'm so glad I asked you to tell the story because I would have missed out on that detail."
There's the material. Oh, I see it.
Now picture the tailor. This brother's red in the face, trying not to laugh at this fool. This king is about to. All right, yep.
So the tailor finishes his clothes, his robe, if you will.
Good work.
It's done. It took, and what's crazy, he kept coming back. I think it took him like 10 days to make nothing. Anyway, okay. He makes the emperor's new clothes. The emperor is like, oh yeah. Now, obviously, in his mind, he can't see it, but he's like, surely they'll see it. And if they don't, it's just because they're stupid. All along, the emperor was the stupid one. Now, the craziest part, he felt so good about these clothes, so infatuated, so impressed with the nothing that the con man did, that he was like, I'm going to throw a parade and parade myself around in my new clothes. Now, a notice was put out. The emperor is coming out. He's throwing a parade. The clothing that you will see can only be perceived by he who is intelligent. He goes out in the parade naked.
Butt naked.
Oh gosh, the return to that. The emperor has no clothes on, but all the villagers had heard of this notice, so they also trying to be like the emperor were like, oh, I see it.
Bro, this is a perfect story for the... All right, Go ahead.
I see it. His clothes. There are the clothes right there. Yup. Sorry. Looking good, emperor. They say while looking at the ground. Looking good.
Real good, man.
It's incredible fabric work. The stitching on that nothing is just crazy. Trying hard not to look at anyway.
All right. But yeah.
And then a little kid is like, the emperor doesn't have any clothes on. And they're like, his parents are probably like, shut up, boy. We're not supposed to say that. But they all knew. And the emperor in that moment realized that he had been conned, tricked,
and
fooled.
Everybody could see him naked. Not just naked, but butt naked. Anyway.
Yes.
So
that's the story.
That is just such a perfectly painted, picturesque
Picture.
pocketbook
Picture.
portrait presentation
Picture.
portrayal
Poster.
picture of the dangers of seeking approval in others as opposed to seeking realism from others. Like seeking necessarily it has to be approval from others will lead you into bad situations when you're doing something that's not deserving of approval.
Right.
Because the people who are going to give it to you either way don't actually care about you. So they will let you, in a sense, proverbially run around naked and make a fool of yourself and make a fool of your life because it's what you said you wanted. And maybe later on you'll be like, oh, that tailor, man, he just tricked me into running around naked, and he'll go and bite his ear off or something. But in reality, it was the king's fault for seeking out that type of attention and letting it all be about that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, a lot of they said, oh, you can only see it if you're very smart. And if you're not very smart, then you just don't know that the fabric is there. So then a bunch of the city people made a fool of themselves also because they were just as stupid as wearing the clothes by trying to act like they could see the clothes because they just wanted to be approved also. Or they wanted to fit in with the crowd and whatnot. But that little kid was built different. That little kid had that dog in him or her. 2 eyes. And so, yeah.
Never mind. They were tired of seeing that. They said, go back in the palace. You don't have any clothes on.
Yeah. And sometimes, even though obviously, the king wasn't happy to hear that, like, oh, I'm naked and you're really just going to say that in front of everybody. The king, out of everyone, has the kid to be grateful for.
The emperor.
Oh yeah, my bad. The emperor has the kid to be grateful for because they were the reason that he was aware of his nakedness and knew to go back home and hide and move to another planet so that the other people would leave him alone. I made the end of that story up, obviously, but it'd be like that in real life too. Josh Danke ran away from his family, right?
Right, yeah. Sure.
But he could have been better off if he wasn't producing terrible music, hanging out with people that don't care about him, and drinking that skooma. However, he sought the approval of people before he sought their true care and friendship. And that led him to his own demise, not by anybody else's choosing, but by his own foolishness, like the prodigal son also. Think about it. Who was checking up on the prodigal son when he was eating that pig food? Probably no one.
The pigs.
Not even the pigs. Not even Piglet?
Piglet?
Piglet from Winnie? Yeah, yeah.
No, they was looking.
They was oinking.
Like, get out my food.
All right. That's terrible, but yeah. And so, yeah, there's no one that can help you if there's no one to save you if you reject everyone who will tell you the truth in order to go for those who will support you in everything that you do. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody who cares about you has to say mean things to you all the time or be mean to you ever, actually. But if they're not allowed to disagree with you, then that's not a real relationship.
Right.
And if they have to constantly ignore the things that you're doing wrong, maybe you guys could be fond of each other, but that true relationship of closeness and honesty and communication is not there at all.
Yeah.
And so that's like the way it was with, members of a church and new people who are coming in. You're not that close yet if you have to, in order to preserve their feelings, not say a bunch of crazy stuff. Now, but that's fine in that circumstance because, like I said, you don't know them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do we have a marriage episode?
Kind of. Well, we have Why? You got something to say?
No, I'm just saying.
You trying to marry
if
me?
we
What? I'm sorry. Hey, cut that part out.
No, it's too late. You shouldn't have said it.
Y'all didn't. I was talking to
Foolish.
someone else. Y'all just don't know who's here. She said no.
Dang. It's
Anyway.
probably because you tried to give her a ring pop.
What's wrong with the ring pop?
So
It's all right. Never mind. I was about to ruin my whole.
what? What were you about to say?
Son,
You about
I
to
was
give the
gonna make a
nutrition
pun.
facts?
No.
It's only 30 grams of sugar.
Oh my gosh.
She should have married. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Would you rather eat a ring pop or 24 carats? That's deep.
24 carats.
Man, shut up.
I like carrots.
All right.
Carrots are very delicious.
I need to go back in time and ask you when you're 5 so then you can be right. I mean, I can be right. Please go on with whatever you're about to say, bro. The listeners are struggling not to turn me off right now.
Look, in a marriage, I'm not married. So I always got to say that because, look, I'm not the authority on marriage. Obviously. I'm not even a participant. But maybe that's a benefit. I can see it from the outside. But maybe not. Anyway, if you aren't able to discuss truly how you feel with your spouse, your marriage is going to end in a disastrous crash.
Okay, maybe not that.
What do you mean? Okay, well, no. But I'm saying it'll be, if you can't, I'm telling you, everyone says this every single time relationships are brought up. Communication is key. So if you're unable to communicate with your spouse something that you're noticing in their conduct that needs to change, or if you're unable to accept your spouse telling you, hey, honey, lay off the skooma.
Honey, please.
It's been 40 days. You haven't been home.
You haven't spoken to me.
You in that dungeon sipping that scuba.
Oh, we cannot put that like on merch or anything. It's just has to die with this episode.
Scuba dies with this episode. Sorry, y'all. But then, yeah, if you can't accept any kind of I don't want to say correction because it's different when it's your spouse. I don't want to get corrected by my spouse. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. But like, advice is the best way to put it. Constructive criticism. Then it'll be difficult when you ask your partner, your partner, your spouse, to do something, to change something, and you're unwilling to do the same for yourself. So in that instance, that relationship is now a shaky one because you guys aren't open and honest and transparent with the things that you're thinking of one another. So you're keeping things from each other. And Elijah denied it, but look, bro, I'm doubling down. Crash and burn end of is not gonna work.
Right. If that does not stop, you guys are on a track for bad things. Right. If you're in that situation right now, pray. Keep your head up.
I know you struggle sometimes, but you're gonna make it.
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm sorry.
Not you. I'm not gonna kill you, listener.
He's gonna kill me.
Isaiah.
Yep, that's normal.
Yeah, it is. Totally, guys, back me up. So anyway, it's ironic. It's so ironic to keep saying that on this episode. But anyway, if you're going through that, talk to somebody that is wise and knows the Lord and will help you and cares about you, and will pray for you and also pray for yourself. I hope it gets better. I also hope you're not in that situation. That's a difficult one.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to communicate honestly with your spouse is what makes it survive. Because otherwise, whether or not it stops being true on paper, you guys stop being married. And you're just... I think somebody said this in... they were doing a testimony in church, and they said they and their spouse... Oh, yeah, it was one of our listeners who just got a bunch of merch. Shout out to him. Hallelujah! Anyway. But that they...
Go ahead, hit that again real quick.
And there's 35! They and their spouse were like roommates because of the two of them had their own opinions on things and their own plans with life. And so they were just like two people stuck together, but not necessarily wanting to be together or existing as one flesh. This is pre-Jesus, but then after meeting the Lord, everything changed and everything became fruitful. And all right, anyway, so that's interesting. I went to go look something up. Here it is. 27.
He went to look up the nutrition facts of a ring pop.
No, I did not. That's you with your what was it, Fiji? Aruba, yes.
It was not Aruba.
It wasn't Aruba?
Absolutely.
Where was it at?
It was Barbados.
It was Aruba. I'm going back to the last episode later.
It was...
If I'm right, you owe me $3 billion. All right. So,
Aruba?
It was Aruba.
I don't even know what Aruba is. Until...
Me neither, kind of. But I think... Anyway.
I said Barbados.
It was not Barbados. I know that. Look in your search history. They got... Don't actually do that because we got to move on. But
yes,
a very popular verse right here says, "As iron sharpens iron." Oh, let me actually tell you.
Oh, my fault. My keyboard.
He's over there hating on me by accident while I'm trying to read the word of the Lord. Proverbs 27 verses 17. And by the way, I think I've always used the New King James Version for this podcast whenever I put stuff in, but that's what version we're reading out of. There are other versions and translations and whatever that may be more complicated or simpler or interpreted differently, but yeah. Anyway, here we go. I'm reading out of New King James in case you wanted to know. As iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. So, thinking about the subject of this episode, I think that really ties in a whole lot because iron is sharpening iron in this circumstance, right? So, the iron, not only does it have a certain effect on other things, but it is affected in a certain way by things because of its structure. It's the bonds that hold the molecules together and then make that material act in a certain way and react in a certain way. And in the example of iron sharpens iron, it's very crucial that both participants are iron, because if it was iron and gold, maybe when the iron hit the gold would bend a little bit more. And when the gold hit the iron wouldn't really be affected. Or if it was iron and cardboard, let's say there's a sword made out of iron and a sword made out of cardboard, the iron one would probably cut the cardboard and the cardboard would do nothing to the iron. And it ties in with being equally yoked, because the two of them have to be equal. They have to be on the same page or else it doesn't work. And so what I'm getting at here is in a friendship, in a relationship, even if maybe you have somebody that, like, let's say I'm friends with somebody who's been saved for 12 years and I've only been saved for such and such a number of less years than 12 by a lot. And so maybe this person ends up correcting me a lot more often than I'm correcting them. But we still have the right attitude towards one another. So like if I were to correct in their direction, they would consider it the same way as when they correct in my direction, I would consider it. And yeah, so the action and reaction are equal on both sides because iron and iron. I know that was a lot of talking for me.
I hope that was fire, y'all. I was not listening. Sorry, look. What we talking about? Transparency.
Leave.
I was looking like Elijah shouldn't have said anything, but he said, check your history. I checked. It was the Bahamas. Aruba? Of course it's not Aruba.
It's not Barbados either.
At least it starts with a B.
You about to start with a B when I...
All right. Where are we at now?
I'm glad you cut me off because I have no idea.
Are we continuing with... Are we finished with our notes? I don't think so.
No. I just threw in a random thing right now. The listeners know, all right?
Yes.
Hopefully. I hope you guys...
Shout out y'all listeners. I'm sure you guys were enthralled with everything he was saying.
All right.
Hanging off of every word.
Now, interestingly enough, somebody made the amen reference from the last episode in church, and I mentioned it to someone else. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they said this at this time. And this other person had also listened through the episode. And like, yeah, knew different stuff about it. But they did not know the amen thing was even a part of that episode. And because they weren't paying attention at that part at the beginning. So you were probably not alone. Maybe there are other listeners who are hearing me right now. They're like, yeah, I don't even know where they're at right now because I wasn't listening. You know what? I forgive you. Aww. And I love you. Aww. And I hate you. I'm just playing though. Not for real, guys. Let's move on to the next point in the notes. So don't hear any more nonsense.
Oh my goodness. What in the world?
Sorry.
You better go take a trip to the Bahamas, bro.
I'm going to Aruba.
Aruba? I've never even... What is Aruba?
It's a little island. Back me up, guys. Anyway, the next point here is that sometimes it's more difficult to pursue something beyond shallow relationships and shallow quote unquote friendships. Wait, huh? No, it's harder to pursue something other than that. Yeah, pursue something beyond that, because in those situations you may have to say the truth. Maybe they need to tell Josh Danke to stop making music because it's bad, or tell him to stop drinking skooma because it's going to harm him. But that may put your relationship in jeopardy, and that's real. Like, maybe Josh Danke's parents would be like, no, we don't want to hurt him. You know, we don't want him to.
How old is Josh Danke?
He's whatever age we need him to be for the example. Josh
Facts.
Danke is an age-fluid individual. He's a biological experiment.
His age fluctuates daily.
Every day. Just like your age fluctuates daily, except your age is on a linear path, whereas Josh Danke's is within his own cosmic control. Or something.
So his parents can be like,
So his parents maybe say, we don't want to hurt Josh Danke, first and last name, because he might run away from us again and go be with those bad friends that don't care about his life. So maybe we should just never tell him anything ever. Because they don't want to put their relationship on the line.
right. They're not willing to put it all on the line.
What do you say? First of all, what do you say to people who have that fear? Or maybe you have any experience with this fear or anything of the sort? Just tell me more, cuz.
Experience with this fear. I kind of have some. So, I have a friend. I know, just one. Or had. I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess had a friend. We don't really talk anymore. But so, this friend of mine hit me up and a while ago, and they had asked me, it's too late.
He and she and they and
Well,
no, all right, go ahead.
had asked me if I could come to his wedding. And this is, my dog from the early days, like
Childhood.
8 years old and beyond.
Yeah.
So, from the OG days, and he's asking me to come to his wedding, and as a friend, but a friend who wants to maintain companionship, the answer for me would have been, of course.
Right.
I would love to come to your wedding. Why would I not come to your wedding?
No doubt.
Because I have to maintain this relationship. We're your friends. We're friends. Now, some of you might be saying, what's the issue? Go to his wedding.
Yeah, Isaiah, go to his wedding. What's your problem, bro?
Well, the issue is that who my dog is getting married to
Shout out Brownie. I'm just playing, my bad.
is a man. Now, that's what makes the whole situation a lot more difficult for me, because in going to this wedding, I am being complicit with the homosexual relationship that's going on. Now, I don't hate anyone for obviously he's still, I'm never going to dislike him because of the choices that he's made. Mm-hmm. That's not, the takeaway from this. It's not hate gay people.
And yeah, so an important division to make here is that it's not like you're like, oh yeah, I never want to see you again or talk to you again. Like when the idea of this invitation was first brought up, we were talking about it like, bro, what do you even do? Should you not? And one of the suggestions is go hang out with him right before it or right after it. Maybe, all right. Or, in vicinity to it, but not go to the event itself. because the event itself would be in support of the specific thing that's going on, whereas hanging out with him could be in support of him as a person. Way different.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still don't know. I might go. Who knows, bro? I think I'm not going to tell y'all when his wedding is. You don't need to know. But should I go? I'll ask y'all that. Put in the comments. But
would you go?
Another thing that made the whole decision difficult is that I know that a large majority of his family, the family that we hung out with the most, and that we live with for a little minute, and everything. I mean, just deep bonds, bro, connections, and they're not gonna support his wedding either. So he's gonna be at that wedding alone, basically. Him, his husband, fiance at the moment, and that's it. So then it made it harder for me because as his friend, I'm like, I should support him. You know what I mean? It's like, I get that it's wrong. I get that it doesn't line up with my morality. However, bump morality. That's my guy. Right? But obviously I can't do that. But it's not like, easy. You
Right.
feel me? So in that instance, am I simply looking for companionship? Am I really just trying to, like we were saying earlier, coddle his feelings, make him feel better because I don't want him to be alone? And technically he's not going to be alone. Obviously, I would assume getting married is probably a happy occasion, but you're not going to have your family with you. That's rough. But so is it now my responsibility to be like, hey, I need to be a part of this. I got to go and be at this wedding and support him because he has no one else to support him. But then is it like, oh, but you know what I mean? It's a whole debacle. So I'm not sure what the answer is, what the conclusion to this story is, I guess, because I haven't come to the conclusion yet. I'm still living it. But yes, that is the end of the details I will divulge to y'all listeners.
Very, 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 very difficult thing to go about. I don't know.
The word
what I
you're
would
looking
do
for is debacle.
Debacle.
Okay.
Some kind of debacle.
When you begin to look into the life of... Okay, I'm done.
I'm waiting on somebody to actually try to do the impression in person, bro. Don't be nervous, y'all.
They're afraid.
You only live twice.
Okay.
Go for it. Anyway.
YOLO. Yep. I'm changing it. You only live on Earth once.
YOLO.
Actually, that's not true.
It's yo.
Don't you come? Aren't we coming back? It's like a second Earth.
Hold on, but beyond that, you only live on Earth once. That's 3 O's at the end. It's YOLO. You know what I'm saying?
On Earth. Is
YOLO. Bro, I'm slow. Hold on. On Earth. But yeah. I'm so ashamed that the internet has caught this. But no, it's YOLO.
YOLO.
YOLO. Yeah. Yo. All right. So basically cut out the last 65 seconds of this and they'll just never have to know. I promise I can spell, y'all. Sometimes. From the other side of this, nobody likes to be told that what they're doing is wrong.
Facts.
And so, yeah, it's like there's a lot of validity to the feeling of not wanting to put your relationship in jeopardy because it's not like, I don't know, the person is just headstrong and they hate you and they're just going to be mad at you regardless, but it's specifically based on the things that you say, and those are just their real feelings in response. But it's like, what do you say other than the truth? Nothing. I don't know. It's hard. Sometimes Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, there's no answer. I don't even know. I'm interested to see what the commentators are going to think about that whole debacle.
As am I.
Y'all better comment about it. Somebody, I was recently talking and they were like, yeah, I was going to comment. And then, I don't know, I just didn't. I looked at the comment section and I was like, ooh. And I couldn't really think of something that was super clever to say, so I didn't want to put something boring out there. Bro, you could literally say, hello, I'm here listening. That is so real. I'll come reply and that's it. But but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? We turn up in them comments, man.
All right.
Do you have final thoughts about this topic?
Me? Do I have final thoughts about this topic?
Or do you thoughts just continue?
Yeah, I do. What I would say is that upon actually talking about the topic and doing the podcast episode, I would, while you know what the title is, I would say that it's more relationships versus approval, right? It's not always like we discussed marriage, we discussed parents and a child. You know, these things where you seek only approval can extend further than just to your friends. Something we didn't discuss in this episode, and I don't think we talked about it in 4, but we might have, is like going and asking for help from your pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but you probably don't remember. But I keep a journal. Fun fact. It's a very not traditional journal, and I love sharing it because I think it's hilarious. So, if you ever want to be like, what kind of journal do you keep, Isaiah? Maybe I don't like a journal, but maybe the kind of journal you keep, I could do that. Ask me, hit me up. I'll show you. It's hilarious to me, anyway. But in that journal, a long, long time ago, I had this note that says, sometimes people only go into counseling so to have someone agree with them on their problems.
Mm-hmm.
Something to that effect. I don't have it in front of me right now, so that's not verbatim. But yeah, you can't go ask someone for help. Ask your pastor for God's counseling and guidance, but really you're just there to hear him say what you want to have him say. You feel me?
Mm.
Like my Pastor Tijero, who was my father. What?
My Pastor Tijero,
Pastor Sir, Mr. Pastor Sir,
Mr. Pastor Sir,
has told stories of people who will come in and like they have something that they want to do. They'll be like, Pastor, should I do this? That's not a good idea. Here's what you should do. Pray about it and then try to
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, all right, let's say that was Sunday. Wednesday, they come in, Pastor, I need to talk to you. Remember that thing I told you I was going to do that you said no, do it? I did that thing.
Because you don't understand. You know, when you're in
and everything turned bad. I blew up.
I actually became a hand grenade and exploded.
Yeah, you feel me? So it's, don't go in asking for help. One, if you don't plan on using it. And 2, if you're unable to accept that you're wrong. But yeah, that's kind of separate from the approval thing, but like don't seek approval, seek growth, Yeah. Those are my final thoughts.
Boom. My final thoughts are going to be a little bit shorter. One of them,
we played a clip.
Yeah, I'm going
I cannot anyway.
Anyway, that's okay. 3 final thoughts. That's one of them. Another one is that I really need to come to a conclusion on how to share the truth of the gospel with people that I'm not super close with, but maybe could be, or, you know, just how to find my window in, because a lot of times I think I just wait until situations change and I don't know them anymore. And then that's another person who could have known, but instead at the end of things will be biting my ear off. So, you know what I'm saying? If you did not get what I said by biting your ear off, you haven't been listening through the episode. I'm not about to explain it because it came from the episode. I hate you. Anyway, because the picture came into my head. Like, what if somebody was like, "What did you mean by that?" But just how smart of a question would that be? All right. Anyway,
What is he talking about?
anyway, moving on. Another is don't be too hesitant to think that, or to explore the possibility that you weren't correct the first time you tried something, or maybe your first idea of something wasn't the right one, because then if you don't do that, you're gonna put yourself in trouble, because then the people who you'll give your ear to are only the people who will disagree. I mean, who will agree with your wrong opinion. And then the people who would have helped you otherwise, you don't associate with because you're trying to escape them. So, like, for example, if somebody says, I don't know, I like to steal, and there's nothing wrong with stealing, and nobody can tell me that stealing is wrong, right? And then God is trying to meet with them like he did with Saul that became Paul, and he was like, God's like, hey, you're going against what I've told you to do, and I'm trying to help you out. I can change your life. And you're just like, nah, you're just hating on me. You just want to see me fall. And you don't accept that. Or maybe it's not God himself, but it's a parent or something, or a friend or someone else who's just looking out for you. If your immediate reaction is to distance yourself from people that disagree, it's not the same as distancing yourself from people who dislike you, but just disagreeing with you, you're gonna, none of your relationships are gonna be good, and you will live in the world of your own creation, and that's not gonna be a good thing. But anyway, that's it.
Yes. That marks the end of this episode.
And so now to move into
The important business. Business.
I know we say this every time it's a full episode, but I don't care. If this is your first time listening, it's your first time listening. What are you supposed to do about that? You're supposed to just know. So, this is a Christian podcast, if you couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because, we are Christians, and we believe that God can change your life. He'll do it if you would be willing to. And so part of that, like I was saying, is to just humble yourself before God and maybe I wasn't right about everything I've ever thought. Maybe God does know better. Let me open my ear a little bit. And if you're looking for change, if maybe something's wrong in life and you don't know how to fix it, or you're looking for purpose in life and you don't know where to find it, or looking for truth, or you know that you've sinned in the eyes of God and you want to make it right with God and you want a better relationship with God, you just got to surrender to him. And if you would like the words to do that, to say in a prayer, we offer them on the end of these episodes. So hallelujah. So yeah. You can go ahead and repeat after me if you would like, and you're not talking to me or yourself or anything in the room with you. There's no object that's listening to you but God that is real.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
If you do have an object that you're focusing on, that you're praying on,
Put it down.
Throw it away.
Close your eyes.
Yep. No idols before God.
Facts.
That's an idol.
The object is
Fun
not going
fact.
to help you.
Like you holding that cross or whatever. No, sir.
Yeah.
Holding on to that rosary bead. Trying to play telephone with Mary.
Hey, Mary, could you? All right. Anyway.
Sorry. What episode is that? I don't even remember.
Maybe the accursed one.
No. It can't. Oh, one. No. It came out recently.
Okay.
But one, yes, we talked about it too. All right.
But yeah, anyway, let's
Say
pray,
these
y'all.
words and be genuine.
Dear God, I recognize that I'm a sinner and that I've not always done right. But I'm ready to see you in a new way. And I ask you that you would humble me and begin to change me. I believe that you sent your son to die on the cross for my sins and that he rose again and defeated death. I pray that by that same power, you would defeat my sin and that you would make me new. Let me be a new creation. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Boom, bam, bop, bada, bop, boom, pow. If you said that prayer, congrats to you. As always,
Reach out.
respect.
You feel me?
Now, we're here at the end of the episode for the secret word and the whatever last minute things that we say to like the real crowd of listeners who's actually still listening. Secret word, I say, should be poor because it's easy to use it in a bunch of different contexts. And I was broke, not poor, but anyway. But, you know, you could be a poor example of a friend, or you could help out your friend who is poor, or you could have a poor example or a poor understanding of what friendship is or something, y'all.
Poor. Sure.
P-O-O-R. Poor.
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 Oh, but if you put P-O-U-R, dang. What if that's like a...
That's either really clever or illiterate. One of the two.
No, what if it's like a deep cut? Like, you gotta know. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway.
Up to your discretion. You guys are the commenters, not us. So,
And even if you don't have something super clever to say, even if, bro, obviously try your best to put the secret word in it. But if you're like, oh, how do I put the secret word in and you can't figure it out, comment something anyway. It's good to see you.
My poor brain.
For real.
That had the secret word in it.
Yeah.
You know?
My poor brain, I can't think of a way to use the secret word. You, first person to use that comment,
Stop.
you get to use it.
No.
It's not stolen.
Got it.
Anyway.
He's I mean, legendary. All right.
Yeah.
Look, y'all. We said a lot of things. We asked you to say a lot of things in the comments. Say those things. We want your opinions.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget about that debacle. The debacle we spoke about before with the marriage invitation and everything, the wedding invitation. I mean, comment your thoughts about that. Please don't say anything rude, but say what you're feeling. Tell the truth.
Yeah. 'Cause I might need that advice. It's coming up shortly, this wedding. All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Oh, thank you guys who have bought merch.
I'm trying to avoid talking about the merch.
Yeah.
Because, bro, I looked at the prices of one of the hoodies. It's too much. I need to fix it. It's like, it's too expensive.
Yeah. And it's more than the...
It's more than the sick one, the Josh Danky News page one. It's like the regular design, and it's like $1,000.
Not a... Okay.
The Rick. All right.
Goodbye.
So I got to go fix that. So if you guys bought merch already before the prices went down, sorry.
Yeah, getting your money. No, I was playing. I mean, am I playing? The money went to Fly, though.
Yes, so you supported the ministry, so we appreciate it regardless. Don't attack us.
Yes, nobody's pocketing this money
At all.
or anything like that. It's going to church things.
Yeah.
And but sorry though.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.